This recording will be a reflection on the terrorism link scene. The terrorism link scene was a very rocky scene for us, for my group. We first was told to do 4 still images for a 5-minute long, around 5-minute long voiceover. This felt very awkward when doing it, especially because we felt like we was restricted to show our true ability. Once Lucy and Emma had seen what we had created, they realized that it might be better if we had got more information and had more support on what we was creating. Emma worked one-to-one with my group to create a new piece. This piece was a lot like a movement piece rather than what Lucy wanted, which was a still piece. I found Emma's movement piece really nice, and I felt like it linked really well with the voiceover. But in the back of my head, I knew that Lucy wanted to have the still images. Once we created the piece with Emma, we then showed Lucy, and Lucy was still standing by her wanting the still images. So then Lucy thought it would be a good idea of, instead of having still images, we signed the voiceover. This was my favorite decision out of all of them, because at this point I really enjoyed learning sign, and I felt like it was helping me to become more of an inclusive practitioner. When we added the sign, we started off by finger spelling the places that we represented. In the end, Abby thought this wasn't a good idea because some of us found it difficult to fingerspell our place. So then she decided to shorten it and turn it into just a sign rather than having to fingerspell the place. This scene involved a lot of still moments, and I felt like this scene was very peaceful, and it also drew the audience in. Because the voiceover was news reports and people in a certain time and place, it was very enticing, and it just made the audience want to listen more. I feel from doing this scene, I learned about having to think about the emotion that you're going to hold and have when doing such a sensitive scene. I also learned some sign, and that sometimes being still is a lot better than having a lot of movement. My weaknesses for this scene would have to be remembering all of the sign. Where there wasn't a timing for when everyone did the sign together, it sometimes was hard to know when we should and when we shouldn't do it. And that also made me forget what I was doing in the first place. I'll say my strengths was being able to think about the emotion I was going to portray and commit to the emotion that I was portraying.